You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This isn't a blood pool. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I am your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that all of us, including our leader, Peter R. Vera, love to frolic about in our free time. He is the one leading the charge of frolicking. Go tell him how much you appreciate him frolicking. He'll appreciate that, and then he will frolic. Batman Book Club is also on Patreon, so if you like what's going on with the show, and you want to help support the show, keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Thank you for listening to episode 250, Favorite Joker Stories. This is the culmination. Been building all to this all year long. Joker celebration. This is episode 250, and if you look back 100 episodes ago, talked favorite Batman artists. 100 episodes before that was favorite Batman stories. So there's a little bit of a, what do you want to say, a routine here. We're starting to get a habit. Yeah, so I had to call in somebody for this one to talk some favorites. It'd be really boring if it was just me. And so joining for this clown of an episode is a Mr. J himself. Mr. Justin Kowalski.
That was a really good way to bring me in, Mr. J.
Thanks.
Dude.
Mr.
I
J.
love it.
Yeah, here are Mr. J. Rocca, R.I.P.
No one's ever called me that. No one's ever
Mr.
called
J?
me Mr. J. Hey,
Go to
Mr.
your
J.
kids back. Hey, I'm not dad anymore. I'm either
Mr.
Dodd.
J.
I'm either Dodd,
Dodd.
like Chip,
Hey,
or
Dodd.
Mr. J.
Oh, I
It's
think I
one
wanna
or
be
the other.
Dodd. I want to be
You don't.
Dodd.
Dodd, go. Save yourself.
Save
Dodd,
yourself. Go.
But yeah, I'm glad that you were able to sit down and do this. I know we're gonna have a good time. You haven't been on this since Christmas last year,
And it was a Joker story.
as it was.
It was Sleigh
Booyah.
Ride.
Yeah, sleigh ride. Oh, good
That
one.
was what was hard for today because that was like in my brain of like, I love that story.
I know.
And I was like, I can't talk about it. I already talked about it. So.
Yeah, so I definitely, to rehash in case somebody's missed the past 2 episodes that talk specific Joker stories, I made this month a Joker month. I'm wearing a purple shirt. I'm drinking purple Gatorade. I'm smiling, but I wanted this, to do an episode at some point this year talking all about Joker because he is, I think, inarguably the greatest villain in pop culture. Justin and I will talk a little more about that here in just a minute. And I haven't really seen anything about Joker. I know you don't celebrate villains and, the bad people doing bad things, but it's like Joker is just kind of different in pop culture. You like to not like him. You enjoy his shenanigans and you enjoy Batman taking him down and Batman being challenged. It's probably one of the greatest good guy versus bad guys like stories in all of pop culture. Like he's just on another level to where I think he definitely gets and is due a celebration for his 85th anniversary, And so I'm glad that this month I was able to do that. And I definitely was forming it around the episode 250. Cause like I said, I like to use the 50s, like the double O's. I like to bring in like a big gun. So it's Lieber Mayo episode 100, Sean Murphy episode 200, episode 300. I don't know. Maybe, I have no idea, but the 50s, which Justin, you weren't there on episode 50, but you were there 100 episodes ago. You, me, and Mr. Minnesota did the favorite Batman artists. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you did that one. So
Minnesota.
now you're here for this one. You're the only one. To hell with the rest. Just need
No,
you.
I was actually thinking about like my rhythms on the show because I've been so busy, and I used to be in competition with Mr. Garrett Grev, as and
You
then
guys are
Pete
probably
just kinda
still close.
came in. I don't know. He did so many. I was like, oh, I can't even keep up. And then Pete was just like, made himself like a guest host.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hold my boudin sausage.
Yeah. I was like, the wrap ups don't even count anyways. They don't count as guest spots. No, those are actually my favorite episodes.
I appreciate it.
Keeps me in the loop. But I was thinking like, oh, I'm not going to go too behind the scenes, but I remember
Hmm.
we were going to do an episode last Halloween to kind of wrap up our trilogy,
Hmm.
and something couldn't happen with talent, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I lost my streak, my Halloween
I
streak.
know. I know. It was ambitious. What did I do? 3 years of Spooky Month,
Yeah.
and
Well, I
then
think you did it
everybody's
last year too, right? Didn't you
just
do
one
it? I
episode.
just yeah, okay, because we got all the spooky. We read all the scary Batman
But
stories.
yeah, you and I didn't complete the Red Rain trilogy, did we?
No, we did, but we were
We
gonna
did, but
do
something else with it.
yeah, and then it
Yeah, we aren't going to
had
say what
something.
happened. Something
Yeah,
happened.
something happened.
And then everything, yeah, and then Spooky Month, it just became like it was. I'm just gonna. Life happens. You get older and you get
Yeah.
more busy, and your window of time shrinks. And I say this is one with this bunch of Bat Boys, and I don't have children, and I'm like, man.
Mm.
So people with children, how do they squeeze? It's hard for me to ask them to ask you, hey, I know you have kids and you have a life and everything. Can you set aside some time to talk about Batman comics with me?
Yeah.
It's like I just
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can.
know. I like, no, I need that. Okay, I need that, Ryan. Please ask me.
I need it, bro. They're all at work in school, man. I'm off
Yeah.
today.
I
Let's
know I do know your window of availability kind of.
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let's make this happen. No, but then let's see, last year, the great Tim Sheridan, my pal Tim Sheridan, he came aboard and we talked the Long Halloween movie and
Oh yeah.
talking the book, what he lifted from the book and about the movie and everything. That was episode 215. Go back and listen to that because that was great.
Yeah.
Love talking to Tim. But then yes, I can just scroll real quick and see if the previous year Spooky Month was fun. It was always a lot of work, and then it just got very difficult. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
then
think everybody should listen to those like I think every year, like, when we hit October, or
mhm.
even about now, we're about approaching spooky season. I think it's good to go and, listen back to those episodes, because you might go like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even read I never had a moment to read that," right? And
Yeah,
so, hey,
these are
hit up the
evergreen.
Batman book club. Yeah, that's what's so great about these episodes, is they are evergreen. They're like, you're not really pulling, like, besides the wrap up episodes, like
Yeah,
current books. It's mostly like, oh man, this book came out 20 years ago. Here, let's talk about it. And so that's why it's a nice little resource.
well, bless your soul. Yes, we did
Yeah.
Crimson Mist 2022.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
23, there was a spooky month. But like you and I just said, our episode fell through, but there
Was
still
that
were three others.
2023? Was that
2023.
2020? Then what
Yeah.
happened for 2024? Nothing on.
24 was just Tim Sheridan talking Long Halloween.
Oh man,
Yep.
that
So,
makes it feel so long ago. Cause
right.
dang,
But
that's
I'm not
like,
going to say that it was a
yeah,
bad month. I mean, it was still a great October. So I did first time reading
yeah,
Batman Year One with Andy Luca, in which stay tuned because he's coming back next month. I did the Year One Artist Edition with Clay McCormick,
yeah.
a comic writer and artist. And then John Jackson Miller was on to talk Batman Resurrection. Hey, stay tuned. He
Oh,
may be coming back on here again. And then it was Tim Sheridan. So it was a good October. It was still a busy October, but just not a spooky month, really. We're going to do
Batman
our best next month.
Resurrection.
Batman
Even more
Resurrection.
resurrection.
More
Resurrected more.
resurrection. No smooth transition.
No.
Joker. All right, Joker. He's turning 85. Already turned 85 technically, because I think Batman number one. He debuted in Batman number one, 1940.
Yeah.
I believe, if the internet's correct, in which it's always correct, says it was came out in April 25th of 1940. They're always so shaky on debuts and cover dates, as well as what when it was originally released. We do know he first appeared in 1940. So Justin, before we get into some rankings of our 5 favorite Joker stories,
Mm.
just really quick, like, what are your overall thoughts on the character of the Joker?
Yeah, this is why it was really hard for me, and this is it's gonna be it's gonna be kind of just take my words, give me grace, and don't be angry with me. The Joker is the greatest super villain, like, in comics. Like, that's
Yep.
my opinion. And especially because I lean more DC. I mean,
Hmm.
I understand other characters, like, yes, Doctor Doom, incredible character, but I'm like, okay, like, I'm not I don't care that
Yeah.
much, right? But the Joker, he exists out of the comic book pages too. Like people just know, like
Yep.
Batman's main adversary is the Joker, and he's a bad guy, right? And so, all that being said, I think the idea of the Joker is even bigger than the stories of the Joker,
Mm.
because in my opinion, I don't think there's that many really great Joker stories. I think sometimes they
Ooh.
overuse them, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't even a good Joker story. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes other people may feel differently, and so that's why it was actually really hard for me to pick these stories. Man, I was really racking my brain. I was like, I can think of maybe seven that I think are great
Mm-hmm.
Joker stories. And a great Joker story to me defines Batman,
Mm-hmm.
right? If he's the defining
Yeah.
villain, the things the Joker does add to the just the layers of Batman's story. They cause him to take other measures. It causes Batman to, like, okay, I won't ever do this again because this is what happened and the Joker did it, right? So it adds to his Batman's trauma. The
Mm-hmm.
best Joker stories add to Batman's ongoing trauma of not dealing with things in a healthy way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that kind of is what I think about him. It's it's antithetical to Batman, like Batman dark and serious and brooding, and you have this goofy clown thing. Like, wow, it was just a brilliant,
Yeah.
like, the
Yep.
way that was ended up organically building. No, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they were ever like he's the main villain. It just became the main villain because of,
Because he was even supposed to be dead after his debut, like his debut
yeah,
story.
that's right.
And then nah, never mind. He's not.
Yeah, can't keep a good clown down.
That's right.
Can't do that.
I,
Uh, so yeah, but I do love the joke. It's, even though I can say, like, he's got, like, maybe, seven, six to
mm-hmm.
seven great stories, he's still the greatest villain because those stories have just made such an impact, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, use them sparingly unless you have a freaking great story. And so
Yeah.
I think two of my picks are going to be kind of surprising. Even going back to last year, I think Sleigh Ride was a great freaking story because
Yeah.
it was quick, it was a one-off issue, and it had so much tension because it was like, oh, this guy's trying to kill Tim Drake. He's
Yeah.
trying to kill Robin. And it kind of felt like a continuation of that Robin uh 2 miniseries. I'll just
Mm-hmm.
kill him again, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Was it the
uh
Robin 2, The Joker's Wild?
yeah, and I thought that was an okay Joker story. It wasn't the best,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like a, oh shoot, there's tension there. So, anyways,
Yeah.
he is a great bad guy.
Yeah.
Love to hate him. Think Jack Nicholson still is the best
Well, I'm
take
gonna
on the
ask you about
character.
some questions about Joker and
Okay,
all media at the end. So
okay, sorry. Strike that from the
if
record
anybody
book.
knows who you are, they already knew
Yeah.
you were gonna
But
say that at some
I'll
point,
tell you,
Mike.
but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you
Yeah,
why
there you go.
when
Okay,
we get there. All right.
fair.
All right.
So many things you said, I totally agree with. And when you think the greatest, like some of the greatest aspects of Batman versus Joker is the one dressed up, and as a scary, flying rodent, Batman hangs in the shadows, uses fear and scares. That's the good guy. The happy, boisterous, I'm out in front and centered, I'm wearing
Hmm.
purple, all
I
that
just love
smiling,
purple.
laughy, yeah, laughing clown. Everything you about that I just said should be happiness, and it's like, no, that's the bad guy. So you've already got the total opposites there. And then, as you said too, of Batman can exist without Joker. Joker can't exist without Batman.
Hmm.
Joker is Batman's biggest fan. Joker loves to challenge Batman, and like you said too, of the best Joker stories are the ones that get to the character of Joker. I even last episode talking with Pete about Lovers and Madmen. I think there's some questionable things done in that story for sure, but the things that really stand out are in there's a lot more in that story than I remembered. Elements that do contribute to Batman versus Joker and get to like the core of each character and why they're constant challenging each other works and why we're attracted to it. And the stories that you and I are going to bring up, and there's going to be an honorable mention or two as well that also
Hmm.
have it present. I just think Batman's the greatest superhero of all time, and he's got the greatest supervillain of all time. So when you bring the two together, uh, done correctly, and I do think the overexposure of him isn't as much as some might think. Now hold on,
Um,
because in comics, I do think they go to the Joker well a lot. So it's not as special if he shows up in something because it's like, oh, I mean, we get Joker all the time. We see Joker all the time.
yeah.
In the people that don't read comics, which is a lot of people, mainstream audience, general audience, whatever, they saw Joker in 1989. They saw Joker in a cartoon on Fox Afternoons, in which, by it just being a cartoon on in the afternoons, a lot of people didn't watch it. It was for kids. He showed up in a cartoon in the early 2000s. He showed up in an animated movie that was direct to VHS. So these right here are already like they don't have as much eyes on him as in 1989. Then he returns to a movie in 2008, so 19 years later. Then he shows up 7 years later in a movie. Like he's actually spread out to general audience. But because we're all very close to everything Batman and DC and stuff, it's like we're exposed to Joker all the time. That then if we hear he's going to show up in a movie, that Barry Keoghan, has been shows up in the Batman, it's like, oh, Joker again. It's like, well, actually, most people aren't thinking that. It is like you said too, like general audience, they know who Joker is.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know that I could go to my mom, my dad, third cousins, uh, school teacher, and be like, "Who's
that'd be
Thanos?
weird.
Who's Doctor Doom? Who's I don't know. Give me another one. Wilson Fisk."
Uh,
And I don't know that they could be
Cheetah.
like, "Oh, it's this, it's this." Yeah, and Cheetah. Who's Cheetah? It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Cheetah is a cat. It's like, but go to all of them and say, "Who's the Joker?" We're like, "Oh, it's Batman's." It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Batman's bad guy. It's the bad guy. He wears purple. He has white skin. He smiles. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
Acid
Joker.
flower.
Yeah,
Got an acid
exactly.
flower, right?
And he made everybody love purple. He
Right.
just did.
I just love purple.
Full confession here, Justin. I don't even
Mm,
have my 5 rankings ranked yet because I don't know. It is tougher than I thought it was going to be. That's why instead
right.
of top three, I thought there'd be a chance that we'd have the same three and then it would maybe be anticlimactic. So I was like, I'm gonna make it five. And then
Oh.
I was like, I got this.
Oh,
And then for
five,
what,
huh?
yeah, and then not six, even though six is good.
Six is good.
I thought I had it, and then for whatever reason, there were like two stories that entered the mix, and then I was like, well, crap, this just got harder now.
Yeah.
And so I don't even have it fully ranked. But do you
Okay.
want to do before we get into ranking? What was your first exposure of the Joker?
Oh gosh.
Super Friends comics?
No, I don't remember. I'm gonna say it was either Scooby Doo
Hmm.
or Batman 66.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I don't. Joker really wasn't on Super Friends, bro.
Correct.
Maybe he was. My first Super Friends wasn't like the original Super. My Super Friends was the ones that had Cyborg and Firestorm. Like
Yeah.
that's what I remember watching. I don't remember. I don't remember the '70s ones until later, like maybe reruns or something like that. So
Fair.
yeah, but yeah,
Uh,
I think first exposure, probably Batman '66, if
okay.
I'm honest. Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to tell you because I
Yeah.
can't remember when Batman struck me. You know,
Mm,
I feel like he's just always been a constant. So it's like I would almost lean to 89
yeah.
because I don't know when I got my first comics was probably when I was like 4 or 5, which would have been
Mm,
90 91. In which at that point it's like I my earliest memories I already knew who Batman and Joker were. So
gotcha.
I don't really know. I just got to think of the time period, probably 89.
Gotcha.
So let's talk some comics. Do you want to do an honorable mention or two, like now or later?
Yeah,
What
we
would
can
you
get
rather
we
do?
can get we can get the honorables out of the way.
Let's get the honorables out of the way. So you can either
Yeah.
do one or two, whichever ones that were high consideration, but they just didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just, and these aren't in any particular order. Again, people,
Hmm.
I feel like they get offended by your orders, and I'm like,
I don't
there's
care.
not.
Be offended
Yeah.
if your biggest problem is our order of ranking Joker
Yeah.
stories. I think you're doing okay.
I know. Okay, so the first one, and I actually slid it down the list because, like, I don't particularly like love going back to this story, but I understand the historical significance of it. So,
Hmm.
the Joker's Five-Way Revenge. Uh, I think it's a great story, but
Whoa.
for me, yeah, when I reread it, I just
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of corny.
Okay.
But
Fair.
that's the thing. But the thing is, it's like the reestablishment of, like, oh, the Joker being a serious threat. And so, again, this is I'm telling you, because we have a list of five. If we had a top 10, it would be here, right?
Yeah.
But in my list of five, I don't feel like it hits me the same way, and that's what I do. So yeah, it's like, I think it really this is the one that defines Joker as Batman's bad guy,
Hmm.
right? Like, even throughout the 60s and 50s and all that stuff, like, it's just, oh, Batman's got bad guys. And they all kind of have this similar, like, motive, right? They do silly things, and Batman pops them in the mush, right? Like, that was essentially the story. But this one was like, oh, Joker he's a bad dude, and
Yeah.
he's twisted, right? Um, and so I think the what Danny O'Neill and oh my gosh,
Neil
Neil
Adams,
Adams
you got
did.
him. There you go. So
Yeah.
you had it. You didn't need my
Yeah,
help.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they change things
Forever.
forever. Yeah. and and I think it's a great story. I just, with the other things, and it's all age and stuff. I didn't read it when it came out. I read it a lot later. I read it in, like, a Greatest Joker Stories Ever Told or something like that. And so it just impacts me different. So yeah, but it's wild, murdering his henchmen. It's
Yeah.
just the final fight with Batman's pretty cool. And then in the one thing, I wonder if they did this on purpose. You know how we just mentioned, he dies in the end of Batman #1. Like, he he survives at the end. It's like this. He's eternal, right?
Hmm.
I think the best Joker stories always kind of like, he's still out there.
Yeah.
I think it's almost a necessary trope, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I
Okay.
I no complaints. Just,
All
it's
right.
there.
Okay. Fair enough. I've got two. And if we
Oh,
recorded
I
this
got one more
tomorrow,
too.
yeah, okay. Well, let
Yeah,
me say
yeah,
one and
but
then we'll go
yeah,
back to you.
yeah.
Going Sane. Just talked
Oh,
about
okay,
it.
okay.
I think that that's a great supporting story of the whole you don't get a Joker without Batman.
Yeah,
And I think it really supports that idea. And I think revisiting it recently and stuff too, I just think that's a really great Joker story that does do some things that most of us don't want and somehow makes it work. Hey, what do you
hmm,
mean? We get inside of Joker. We get inside of
hmm,
his mind. We hear his thoughts. We see his thoughts. We see him go normal.
yeah,
And I don't think that idea you say to most of us, and we'd be like, I don't want that. I don't care about that. And JM DeMatteis, he he did it and he did it in a really good way that was not disrespectful to Batman or Joker or Batman versus Joker. So I think that is a lot of credibility. It's a good story. When it comes to favorites, it's like I got to think, what do I go to when I'm like, I want to read a Joker
mm,
story? What do I pick up and read the most? Because that
yeah.
then means that's got to be my favorites. And Going Sane isn't one of five Joker stories I go grab and read
Gotcha.
whenever. All right. Another honorable
Yeah,
mention. What do you got?
yeah. Three Jokers.
I can join you on this one.
Hey,
Yeah.
really?
It was
Yay,
tough.
we're
I thought
we're friends.
this was an easy, like this took a spot. And man, it slipped out. Because and I'll tell you when
Yeah,
and why later.
yeah. Here's the thing. I really love the story.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Um, and I think what I love most about it, though, isn't necessarily the Joker stuff. It's how Batman and Jason Todd and Barbara Gordon, like, their character stuff. Like, I think the
Hmm.
most powerful part is, Batman and his interaction with Joe Chill, like that got, I still remember, like, that, man, that got me, like, what a wild, like, you know, story to tell. And so the Joker stuff, I get how some folks don't like it, like the Joker being more of an idea than a person. Yeah, I can go either way on it. Um, I love the event of it. It just felt like such an event when it
It
happened.
did. Oh,
All
it
the
really
different
did.
covers was fun. Like that was the last time I've bought a bunch of different like
The last
covers.
time I had so much fun with a comic story, you know?
Yes, yes, and it was like there was, you'd get cards and you'd get like the yeah, it was just, I still have them here, like
Oh,
it's
I do
just so
too.
fun.
Yep.
This is so fun. And
I
like
bought so many
I
covers. I bought so many
yeah,
covers.
and it
Didn't
was
need
worth,
to.
I think it was worth it. I think what Jason Fabok did was
Yeah.
just incredible art.
This
I'm like,
took him to
I
the
wish he did
next
more.
took him to the next level. Like
It
it
really
did. I
did.
I had
It
already been a massive fan of his,
Yeah.
uh for almost like the better part of the decade. And yeah, because I think he started The Dark Knight #4, I think was his first issue with David Finch.
Yeah.
Um, and I have that one, had Finch sign it earlier this year and talked to him about it.
Hey.
And I was on board with Fabok from there on, but I think Three Jokers just took him to, like, he didn't need it, but it finally, like, here's my evidence of why I'm next level
Yeah.
because I'm with
Oh.
you. Him and then the coloring by Brad Anderson. It's like, yeah, book looks fantastic. I think this is very relatable to, I think it's Batman's, I almost want to say 685 or 683
Hmm.
that Morrison did, where they're trying to make a clone of Batman and nothing can like hold it together, all the experiences that Batman's gone through. So it's
Yeah.
like there can't ever be another Batman. There can only be one. I think that was the idea that Morrison was trying to do. And I think this is like the in the same vein, that I think John's kind of dug in on is like they keep trying to make these other Jokers, and it's like nobody can, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's what this story gets. Like that's what I get out of it, and then you add the layers of each of the three main uh, good guys
Yeah.
have their own personal tragedies that include, involve Joker, and what John's taps in on each one of them. So it's like this is one that I do revisit often. And so it was very hard of God, I don't think it makes my top five. Damn it. This is number
I
this is
know.
number 5.1, like this is
Yeah.
right there. Because I
It's
do love it.
yeah. It's I don't know. It's a hard. It's one of those hard things. And tomorrow it could change. I could be like, oh, I
I
should
know.
have flipped those around.
What was I
Um,
thinking?
yeah, because that's why sometimes my top tens, it's not like this is the best, because it's
Hmm.
yeah. There's sometimes there's a few of them on here that's like, I just think that's just like that's the one. But this one's a little more fluid, bro. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there we
All
go.
right. So here, when we go to top five, I'm going to do like what I did with the absolute episode that I did with Clow, where we aren't going to go five, four, three, two, one, because then sometimes you might say a number five that I have as number one. And so then I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be cheeky here. I'm not going to talk
Mm.
about it. It's like, no, let's just each talk
Yeah,
in
same.
no particular order. And then we can talk about, you bring one up, I'll talk about it, and vice versa. And we'll get through it, and then we can circle back and be like, all right, so your list from five to one, go, that we just talked about. So you being the guest, you can mention one of your five. Again, no particular order.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm in
talk about
order
it.
mode for me now. I'm in order. I'm just like, just because I made notes, so it'll be easier for me to.
Sure. All right, go
So,
ahead.
number 5,
Yeah.
Batman, the winning card.
You sneaky,
I
sneaky
did, didn't I?
boy. A recent one. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I love the team of Tom
Hmm.
King and Mitch Gerrits. I think when they get together, they do top quality stuff, and I like the retelling. I thought the way they did it, the retelling of his first, appearance. I think they modernized it well. It's really creepy, and I love kind of that conversation in the beginning of the story with him and the little girl on the bench. Man, it was so tense.
Yeah.
And it's because, especially how they did his dialogue, on the kind of like in the frame, the kind of like fancy uh like take that they made. But that's the hard part is I don't have like my copies of it with me.
Hmm.
But I just what they did is they honored the story well because people have done this a whole bunch. Like they've redone it. They've done like the Case of the Chemical Syndicate like 500
Yeah.
different times. They've done like different retakes of that.
Brayfogle illustrated, was it 627?
Yep, he painted the cover.
Well, yeah, and then he did interior on one of the stories as well.
Hmm.
And that is like it's sometimes doing covers, not literally the covers, but it's like a musician doing a cover song, of like,
Hmm.
well, of course the original is great, but like, man, I really love this artist's version of it.
Yeah,
And Kate, like what you're
Kate
saying
Bush.
of a this Joker origin story being retold and redone in ways, it's like it can still be like, yes, of course, respect to Batman number one,
Mhm.
but the winning card is a 2020s version of that story. And sometimes things you already said Joker's Five-Way Revenge sounded, or it's kind of corny.
Yeah,
Cornball, stupid cornball. Corn
corn
dog,
dog,
not
stupid
cornball,
corn
corn dog,
dog.
stupid corn dog.
Yeah,
And I,
available at
I'm
Max Shrek's department
I'm
store.
I I'm with you on the winning card. And I think I interrupted you. You weren't even done talking, saying your thoughts on it. But like,
No,
I
I,
I,
I think
I
I think
do
I've
love it.
yeah,
I think it's scary as hell. I think
yeah,
Garrett's does such a great job of a scary Joker, and King writes a very scary Joker, and it is essentially a retelling of a story that we've seen before. But like, I don't know, it's like no, we're gonna put it through the horror lens, and then
yeah.
of
It definitely
course
is.
I've thought of porta potties differently ever since that story. Like that was one of the most messed up panels of like
Oh,
that might be the scariest Joker ever is a Joker hanging out in a porta potty. Ah! Like, oh my God. If I can ever talk to Mitch Garrett's, I'm like, I just want to,
look
yeah,
at
that one.
that.
Justin's holding it up right now. And I'm be
Yeah,
like, Mitch, I
it's
just want to spend a whole hour talking about the Joker in the shitter. Like,
yeah.
what was going on with that? Whose idea was it? And
Oh,
Tom King,
yeah.
he was on this show back in June. Look it up. And he talked about it because I had to bring it up a little bit and be like, "You twisted son of a bitch. Who does that?" Good pick. That
Yeah,
I don't ever want a recency bias, and that's
yeah,
one that I'm like, would that creep in my top 10? I think it could because it made an impression
yeah,
on me like right away of
yeah.
this is awesome.
And that might be it with me. That's the thing. I might have a little bit of recency bias because as I was as I was going through like man what stories have stuck with me. I just really love what they
Yeah.
created there, and so
Well, also
more.
sometimes you
Yeah,
read or watch something and you're like it immediately affects you in a way you're like, yeah, this is up there, and I'm
yeah,
not budging. And you don't have to budge. Sometimes it just hits you, and you know.
yeah,
Let's see. I'm gonna get it out of the way. For me, no particular order.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring up Joker's Five-Way Revenge,
Hey, I heard that.
and yeah, I'm very surprised you have it as an honorable mention. Your list, man. Your list. It's also a story that was written 50 years ago.
Yeah,
Like things can feel dated at times,
yeah,
sure, and that definitely you take people now and be like, read Joker's Five-Way Revenge, read the winning card. All right,
yeah,
which Joker is more messed up? The winning card. Like you
yeah,
see it through that lens. I totally get it. I think the historical aspect and the importance of that story of Joker's Five-Way definitely elevates it for me as well. We wouldn't
yeah,
get I don't think we'd get winning card version if Denny O'Neil didn't draft the story and then Neil Adams didn't illustrate the story. People here have for this show said like it's the greatest Batman cover of all time. They think O'Neill's the greatest Batman writer of all time. They think Neil Adams is the greatest Batman artist of all time. Um, so by default, you'd almost think that Batman number 251 is the greatest, Batman story of all time. But I think it does, it hits at something that has stuck with Joker. And
yeah,
I think that's key. That's crucial. It's always a joy for me to go back and revisit too. Because as much as I've read it, I have gaps in reading it sometimes where I'm like, I can't recite like the dialogue in this story. I can't.
yeah,
I don't remember all of it.
yeah,
Um, and I love that the animated series mashed this with another Joker story for one episode, and I thought that was great. Also, but it also fudged my memory as a kid in reading this because I'm like, wait, in the cartoon though, that's not how it was in the cartoon. Like it was
Yeah.
different in the cartoon because of blah blah blah. But I do like Joker's Five, and I'm gonna get in a habit here too. That's gonna be like, go back to episode 59 from June 2021, and where we talked about Joker's Five-Way Revenge in
And
full in its entirety.
that is true to how comic books work, Ryan.
Yeah.
So the little
Which part?
boxes. You know the little there you go. See issue 752 for
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'm
so
doing an editor.
yeah.
And I'll do a little dash
Yeah.
and like Ryan.
They don't do that enough
Here's
in
a
my
note.
opinion. They don't do
That's
that
right.
enough in my
All
opinion.
right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, Justin.
Back to me. So okay.
Sorry.
I'm already laughing because you're gonna. I don't want it to be like it's a
Oh,
thing.
oh, is it where Pete comes in? I need to have him just
He's like,
record it so I can.
Kowalski.
Kowalski.
All right. So my next story on this list
Yeah.
is the Batman, the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Okay. It's comic book fans
Ryan's
have
done.
opinions. Nope, not at all. Comic book fans, they have opinions.
Yeah.
People. I just posted a picture earlier this year of Absolute Three Jokers, of the Absolute edition itself. It
Yeah.
had a lot of responses all over the place. There's some people
Yeah.
that are you'd think it would like this story offended them. You know, like in
How dare you?
War of Jokes and Riddles, I've seen stuff like that too. And it's just when I started to understand, like, man, Tom King is like a lightning rod for opinions from, you know,
Yeah.
covering the entire spectrum of love it to hate it. It's the best, it's the worst. I really like War of Jokes and Riddles. So
Same.
go ahead, Justin. You're in safe company
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I mean, I love Tom King as a writer. I love his Batman run.
I'm with
I
you.
think I'm of the mind they really hosed him over when they cut him short. I was like, just let him go to 100 because what we got after that wasn't great, in my opinion. Anyways, so I remember reading this Batman run, just enjoying every single issue. I'm like, that was great. The stuff he did to Joel Jones was great. Like,
Yeah, my favorite.
Oh, this, the guy who illustrated the
Mikel Yanin?
no, the what
Clayman?
was it, the Elmer Fudd art? What's the heck's that guy's
Oh, Lee
name?
Weeks.
Lee Weeks. Oh my gosh, his
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze story was
Yeah.
incredible,
Yeah.
right? Like anyway, so I was just like, man, it felt fun and refreshing to read the stories that he was doing. And so when we got to this book, The War of Jokes and Riddles, man, I think you just said the guy's name. I just lost it again. The artist on this book.
Mikel Yanin?
Yeah. And thank you for saying it right.
Yeah.
Michael
Well,
Janin.
Michael Janin.
Mikhail-
Oh, Michael. It's,
It's
almost like people that say Mitch Jarrett's or Gerard's.
Mikhail Yanin.
Yeah, and it's
he's-
like, where's the second
This
art come
guy's-
from in Gerard's? But
and I want to make sure I remember the art in these things because that's a lot
Absolutely.
of it as well.
especially for comics.
Yeah, like he's pretty definitive as a Joker
Mhm.
artist for me. Like
Gotcha.
I love his Joker. Like a lot of folks just botch the Joker when they draw him, and like Mitch Gerrits kills it. Like I
Yeah.
think his Joker's great, and Michael Yannon, he's in that same club, man. Of I have to like feel like the Joker is real.
Mhm.
And the way he draws and illustrates, especially in this story, because Joker was not happy. He was just not be able to tell a joke. That was the whole preface on like not being able to like laugh because of his emptiness, right? Like the
Yeah.
Joker's just he's struggling. Anyways, I love the story. I love it. It was like it was just a great other take on the Joker, and I think that's why I did it, because it wasn't just the Joker's got a plan and he's going to destroy Batman's life. Ha ha ha! It's funny. There was just this struggle for him, and almost his adversary is really the Riddler in the book. They
Mhm.
both have a challenge with the Batman, the whole chaos versus logic kind of idea.
Yeah.
I just think it's a great book. If you haven't read it in a while, go check it out again, because it's just really cool. Like the obsessions of these villains create
Mhm.
like the biggest issue for Batman. Like that's the war zone, is like, oh, I got to deal with these two knuckleheads. But and then also they're one of my major adversaries is having this like questioning who he even is, and like
Hmm.
he's just nothing, and he's just doing things that he typically would do, and they're not making him laugh. He's like, I can't.
Yeah.
This is making me laugh. This murder doesn't make me laugh anymore. So,
I
uh,
think it's definitely a good one, and I know that there's criticisms of like, where are the jokes, where are the riddles, where's the war,
mhm.
um, and I mean, I
See,
guess fair, but I didn't have like I would revisit it when those criticisms would pop up and just kind of be like, all right,
mm,
let me see if they have a point or if I can find the evidence of it, and I'm just like, that's just not a criticism of it for me. I really enjoy that story. The only
yeah,
criticism that I've consistently had with King on that Batman run is just like with Nightmares. For me, I started to get tired, about halfway through of it because
mm,
it was, I think that was still bi-weekly. Um, but in so that was like 4 months of that, and I was starting to get like antsy of like,
okay,
I think I got the point. I'm ready to move on. Otherwise, the rest of his run, like I love his
yeah,
run on Batman.
yeah. I will say this. I think Tom King stuff reads better collected.
I agree.
You
Yeah,
can I can see like the criticism of like I just read a whole issue of onomatopoeias, or
yeah, yep,
Batman just say I'm gonna break your freaking back, that was the
yeah,
whole issue. So I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
So
Unexpected. I see. Justin, he's a wild card. Oh, Mr. J, he's
the
he's a
Joker's
wild card.
wild.
The Joker's wild. Yeah.
Skip them all.
Let's see. Which one do I want to talk about next? Again, no particular order. I'm gonna talk about this one. Absolute Edition came out. Let's see. Was it beginning of this year? No, it was last year. Death
Mm.
of the Family.
Oh
Mm,
wow.
yeah.
Okay, my
So
man.
this one, written by Scott Snyder, obviously, with art by Greg Capullo, obviously, was released
Snyder bro.
2012 and 2013. Talked about this one on episode 56 way back in 2021. There's a
Yeah.
consistency here that a lot of these episodes where I talked about Joker stories were back in
Mhm.
2021. I don't know why, but I did. um, man, but Death of the Family, which New 52 uh issue number 14 is where he is when I'm about ready to say it on the show is when I go blank.
Mm.
Who's a puppet master? What do they call them? The ones controlling the
Ventriloquist?
no.
Oh no. Puppet
Somebody who's
master?
controlling the
They
puppets.
pull the strings.
Somebody's screaming right now.
The
Listen.
puppet master. They call the puppet master. The puppet master. Is
No,
what it's
gosh.
called.
I always forget. I don't know why.
There's like an actual name.
Yeah, and I'll get to it before
Huh.
this issue's over.
All right.
But
All right.
there's
The
that cover
orchestrator.
where Joker wearing the Joe's Garage,
Yeah.
mechanical suit and his back's to us, but he's got all the monitors and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's each member of the Bat family. It's like he's controlling it. I adore that cover. Oh, I love
Mm.
that cover so much. But the story overall, I think prior to this, he wrote a story that not many I come across have read it called Severed, which is a horror story. So it was,
Oh.
very early. Scott Snyder was not who he is now when he wrote it, and it's awesome and it's scary and it's messed up. I think like and then he did American Vampires. It's like he does good horror stories.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
his thing.
he approached Joker with a horror like that scene, of Joker in GCPD, how that plays out, I think is awesome. It's scary, all this stuff's happening and Gordon can't get himself like can't see him and find him. All that's scary. The whole book is scary. It talks like it references the history of Batman and Joker, and it has a lot to say about Joker's relationship with Batman and how Batman's changed when he gets because he's got this family. And you know what, Justin? I agree. I'm not yeah, let's bring in Batman and 19 other Bat family members. Woo, that'll be the best Batman story ever. I'm like, no, the less, the better. My preference is Batman solo. Bring in a Robin, bring
Mm.
in Batgirl. I start to get picky on which versions. Like, I'm good with a Batman, Dick Grayson, Robin, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Yeah, give me that story. That's a great story. If it can't be Dick Grayson, Robin, well, then it's Tim Drake, Robin. But now you're starting to flub with, well, then at that time she's Oracle or it's Stephanie. Okay, now it's
Yeah.
getting
Okay.
messy.
There's
But
too
like,
many.
it had a lot to say, and it really like it did strike me in such a good way. And that's definitely one that I go back and revisit pretty often. I love the horror aspect of Joker's face. Is like You know,
The
it's
carved off FaceTime.
yeah, he carves off his own face and then he's wearing it as a mask and it's just deteriorating each
Yeah.
issue to where it's
It's
more
so
gross,
gross.
it's worse. As you kind of said something about Joker, best Joker stories are like at the end, like he's still alive, but it's not like we
Yeah.
get this uplifting, like, ah, let's go back to Arkham, like Five-Way Revenge kind of was. This one leaves it like open ended. It's like, well, I know
Mm.
Joker's not dead. They can't kill
Yeah.
Joker. They
You
just
can't kill
can't.
the Joker.
But they leave it in such a way to where you're also left of like Batman's starting to doubt himself a little bit that Joker knows where uh the Batcave is.
Yeah.
And then I do mix this and Endgame at certain times up. Um to where I don't know if I'm blanking on if this is the one where Bruce says, I think this is the one where Bruce says he went and saw after, I think after he apprehended Joker the first time, he went and saw him, and Joker had no, uh, like he didn't, no recognizability of Bruce Wayne's Batman or anything like that at all.
Hmm.
But it's still left in such a way where he's unsure, and you also don't know, does Joker know? My preference is Joker would not want to know who Batman is because he'd think it's funnier that he could walk past Batman in the streets in Gotham City and have no idea. You know,
Mm.
um, I think all of that is just like to wrap it up. All of that's included in Death of the Family, and that's just like why I love Death of the Family and why this is like one of my favorite Joker stories because it also has something to say about the Batman Joker relationship and something about each character.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you, I need to read this again. I haven't read it in a
It's been a
long
while. It's been a
time.
while.
Been a while. So, but I do remember like kind of there was the part where there was that uh does he know? And
Hmm.
I think he does know, but he just doesn't care about Bruce Wayne. He cares about Batman. Batman's fun, right? It's
Hmm.
fun to just taunt
A
Batman.
marionette. Like
Marionette.
a marionette, someone who specifically operates a string puppet or marionette. The more specific term
Ah.
is a marionettist. So I never say marionettist. I always reference like a marionette, but like there you go. That's what vindicated. Relief. But anyways, yes, I highly recommend Justin that you use your DC Universe Infinite Ultra and
Infinite.
read Death of the Family again because that
What if I
is,
just used Hoopla?
I mean, it's the greatest app of all time. So yeah, or you buy the Absolute Edition if you want to do that physical. But anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, revisit that one because it's totally worth it. No
Man, they
regrets.
made an absolute of this one, huh?
Yeah, this
I didn't know that.
um and wait, did they didn't do it? And oh my gosh, I'm blanking now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think they
I,
did an omnibus of all Snyder stuff, but
yeah, they did omnibus of that. I don't think they did absolute. No, okay. Earlier this year was Absolute Zero Year. Last year was
well,
Absolute Death of the Family. So I'm just waiting. Like they gotta be
okay.
getting Endgame soon. And then when it gets to that arc that nobody likes, if I don't need that absolute version.
Super heavy, super heavy.
Yeah, I don't need an absolute super heavy. But they got Court of Owls. They got Death of the Family.
Yeah,
They got Zero Year. So it's like Endgame's just like the last big arc of New 52 for this team they got to do. But anyways,
yeah.
yeah,
All right.
revisit it, Justin. You won't regret it.
Ooh, all right.
This was also talked about. Did I already mention
Yeah.
episode 56? Okay. All right,
Yes,
carry
right.
on.
All right. Okay, so what have I talked about two, right? I
You've
talked
talked
about
about two,
Wolverine
yes.
card. All right. So now we're at Batman, Arkham Asylum, a serious house on a serious earth.
Referenced in Death of the Family. Carry on.
Carry on. Yeah, man. I read this when I was way too young. And I was actually really bummed. I cannot find it. I think I loaned it to somebody and they haven't given it back to me. And I really hate that because I have a few books that I think I know who has. I think my
How
friend
old
Tyler
were
has
you?
them. Oh, bro. 11?
See, I think I was like 11 or 12.
It was right. No, no, maybe I was 12. It was 12 because I got it in it was called Batman Collection 1 and Batman Collection 2. There's a slipcase of comics and it was like
Mm-hmm.
Batman and it was like Dark Knight Returns in year 1. I think that's what the collection was. Um and I mean these were like pretty heavy books for a 12-year-old to read. But they just my parents didn't know. They're like, "Oh, Batman, here you go, comics,"
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just being enamored by the art. The art was crazy. Dave McKean, it was just so
Yeah.
like it's that painted, realistic, graphic. It hit me. Um, and I didn't really understand the story until I think when I reread it, like when I was like maybe early 20s. Um, and it was really so why I love it as a Joker story because Joker is kind of I feel he's like the lead who's tormenting Batman through like
Yeah.
you're crazy just like us, man. Like
Hmm.
you're not so different. And and it kind of I think this one kind of hits the weird like um almost like a attraction the Joker has for Batman, if that makes sense. Like it really kind of lays into it. Um, it's a little like yeah,
All right.
little creepy. But yeah, I think just because it made the Joker scary to me, like Joker's always like, oh, he's the bad guy. You know, at that point, I was heavily influenced by Batman '89. You know, the Jack Nicholson version. So this was like, dang, Joker's scary. And so I used to draw Joker like that. Like that
Hmm.
was my. I would do like this very like rigid like his I would always draw
Yeah.
the shoulders very pointy and like just long fingers and like swirly hair like and like just that was kind of like the influence I had. Oh, ooh, he's a very scary individual. Like he's not just like a hoo ha like kind of the clown. He's he's uh he's like a psychologically aware of what he's doing. It's not the insanity he claims that's like I don't know what I'm unpredictable. That's what he wants you to think. He's very calculating. He's doing everything to manipulate and it's the Joker is wild. Joker's wild.
Joker's
But
wild.
yeah, I just I love that. I thought it's a great story and I know there's a little bit of like uh you know weirdness to it now is the stuff that's been kind of revealed about the writer. We won't get into all of that, but it's just like it the idea that Joker's almost like inviting Batman into the madness, like you belong
Hmm.
here, and Batman almost believing it too. Um, yeah. So
So
yeah,
that
Joker is just yeah he just orchestrates it. He orchestrates the riots. He's constantly undermining Batman and his sanity. He
there
it's
is no
almost like you
sanity
said
clause.
hey you're like you said he's the marionette he's the ringmaster of all
Yeah.
the chaos in that story and it's like he misses them at the end. There's some other good
Yeah.
stuff with Two-Face and like
Yeah.
and actually one of my favorite Two-Face like moments is when he
Hmm.
actually flips the coin and it's the bad side, but he still
Yeah.
lets Batman go. Like, oh man, what a great moment. But yeah, there's a line though
This-
where he where Joker says, "Loosen up, tight ass," to Batman.
Yeah.
So not quite the reach around that Pete Vera
Yeah.
loves,
I
but
know.
yeah. Anyways, I
Any-
love that.
yeah.
I love that story.
Anyways, um, this was actually discussed at length in episode 18 with the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman. Arkham
Oh, hey,
Asylum.
there you
Also
go.
talked about again in episode 100 with Lieber Mayo, a major influence on that guy. This one's like Arkham Asylum's complicated for me. I go back and forth on it.
Okay.
I think there's versions now that include it, but the Absolute Edition, which I absolutely had to get, includes the
Hey.
script in the back with annotations by Morrison. And that helped me a lot and understand what he was going for. And I think McKean's art
Oh my
muddies it up
gosh,
for me.
I messed up.
Did
It
you?
was Grant Morrison that wrote this, and I sorry,
I
I
didn't want
lost.
to push it
You
further, but
should
I
have
was like,
you should
but
have
I'm trying to
corrected
think of
me.
like, gosh, did I miss
You
something
should have
with Morrison?
corrected
I don't
me.
think he did. Okay.
I messed up, and I forgive me. Take
No, no,
away
no.
my
It's all
take away
good.
my
You're saying
Batman
right
card.
here, like,
I
no,
was
there's
like, I
nothing
was
about the
thinking,
writer Grant Morrison that came out that you were referring to earlier.
no,
It wasn't
I
him.
was
Okay,
thinking
you're
Neil
clear.
Gaiman for some reason. I was thinking
I
Neil
wondered if
Gaiman.
that's what you're talking about too.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know
good.
why I thought that. Sorry, guys.
All is
Grant
forgiven.
Morrison, good dude, good, great guy, great guy. Nothing. He did
Good guy.
nothing wrong,
He's fine.
guys. He did nothing wrong.
But yeah, his explanations in the script is like it's like wow, this is a Batman story that I understand, I can get, and I do think that the art takes me places and takes me out of it to where I start to get muddied with it. And then there's other times after reading the script and seeing the art parts, I'm like, okay, well, this has hit me different in a good way now. And other parts
Yeah.
are like, this is still like kind of frustrating. Like I'm all over the place with this book, but how you just summarized it, I think is the point of the story, in which for that I can totally get behind, of like Joker's welcoming him into the madhouse, basically like, dude, you're one of
Yeah.
us. Basically, like you're one of
Yeah.
us. Doing what you're doing, you're one of us. And
Yeah.
the challenges of getting through that story. And um interested because there was a rumor that Affleck's solo Batman movie was going to be like him in Arkham Asylum at one point, and I was very much of like, ooh, I
Mhm.
want to see that. I want to see what how can they construct a whole movie like that.
Yeah.
This is not in my top 5, and I don't know that it would be in my top 10, but I'm not going to sit
Ooh,
here and
baby.
say it's not, like, that it's not good, because history would
Yeah.
argue with me and say, get your head on straight, Ryan.
Yeah. But that I think that's what's I actually like that because it expands kind of the list of stories and
Hmm.
I wouldn't have had Death of the Family in my top. Like I actually wasn't even really thinking about it.
Thinking
And
about
so
it.
that since you brought it up now I'm like, "Oh, I need to reread that
Maybe I
'cause
should do it. Hey, can we
it's
record this again in a month after I
yeah.
visit some of these?
Yeah, yeah. So no, I think that's really good.
Cool.
So, yeah.
My turn. I'm gonna say 2005's The Man Who Laughs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ed Brubaker. Uh-oh, I should have done my research. Doug M. Good old
Doug
Doug
Monkey.
M. Monkey. All
Doug
right, there we go.
Monkey. I'm a
Doug
huge fan,
Monkey.
so I'm aware.
Talked about this episode 39 in January of 2021.
Trying to find
Because
my copy.
that was Joker year 2021. I love this story. So talking about Joker first appearance kind of stories, retellings, a ton of that. The story in Batman #1 is the basis of this story that then is
Yeah.
also seen again in the winning card. But I think Brubaker obviously is a great comic book writer, a great storyteller, and I think he does a great Joker origin story, or
Yeah.
not even origin story. It's Batman and Joker's first fight. Um yeah, and I haven't actually revisited this one in a while, but I know, like, oh, this is one that I go to when I want to read a Joker story. I read this one all the time. It's just been a little while since I've read this last, but
Been a
I think
while.
the art's great. I think it mostly can follow year one,
Yeah.
which is what it was aiming to do. And so you could do like a year one, then Man Who Laughs, um, double features, so to speak. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is a great Joker story, and this is a really fun Joker. Like, this one's more fun than, like, winning card can be
Yeah. It's a little more visceral.
disturbing. Arkham Asylum can be disturbing, and
Yeah.
really mature. I do think Man Who Laughs is like, this is a fun Joker story, but it
It's a
doesn't make
straight
him.
up comic. It's just a comic book. It's
Yep.
like it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's the popcorn version.
Yep.
It's not the
I,
like the 7 version of Joker.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Nice. Good
yeah.
call. I agree. And so that's what makes this, and not in a cheesy, this one's for the kids Joker kind of way or anything either, but it's definitely
For
like
the children.
a popcorn PG-13 Joker story that's just, I think, really fun and really easy to just go grab, sit and read it in one sitting.
Yeah. I wish I could find it. I have it somewhere. I don't know.
Justin's been
I'm like
running all
looking
over looking for it
my
as I was saying
my
that.
my Batman book club needs to be organized. I'm like looking, I'm like, why is everything so out of whack here? So
I need
upset
a
right now.
day to organize my nerd
I
books.
know.
Dang
I'm
it.
like, what the heck happened here? Like, there's a lot of there's some problems here. So
All right.
we'll figure this out
We'll
later.
figure it out.
Meanwhile, at the Batman book club,
Yeah.
Kowalski wing, it's madness.
All right, go ahead. Hit me with another. So you've said 3. Just
I said
rehashing. So
3.
far, Justin has said The Winning Card, War of Jokes
Yeah.
and Riddles, and Arkham Asylum. I have
Yeah.
said Joker's Five-Way Revenge, Death of the Family, and The Man Who Laughs. All right, carry on,
Yeah.
Justin.
All right, so now we're gonna get into like the ones everyone's probably expecting. For this one, I'm gonna go Killing Joke.
Hey, I'm gonna join
Hey.
you in this because that's one of mine. Boom.
Yes, Killing
And if
Joke.
people want to hear us talk more with an Italian about The Killing Joke, go to Batman Book Club episode 57 from May of 2021.
Hey, there we go. So yeah, I mean, This is one of those ones where everyone complains about it now. It's a terrible story, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I
Okay.
thought it was. I think it's a great Batman story and Joker story, and it's the one everyone refers to as the origin, whether he has an origin or not. Um, I think I love how Three Jokers ties into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also love how what the heck was that sequel to it last year? There's some threads to it, but just speaking
Sequel to what?
to Three Jokers, there was that.
Oh, that like epilogue that was in Joker of the World.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was
So
earlier this year. I forget what that was called. All right, go
yeah, I
ahead.
forget. Yeah. So this here's why. This is a showcase of how beautiful Brian Boland illustrates.
Mm-hmm.
He is my definitive Joker artist, and I think the guy, like I mentioned before, the guys that I love their take on him. Even Claymore, like he's a great Joker artist as well. All of those guys that I mentioned in the previous books, not so much Dave McKeon, but there's a similarity of how they illustrate Joker that makes sense. And
Mm-hmm.
every page that Boland does in this book is like, he nailed it. You nailed it. Why have we not cast a Joker who looks like this in the movies? This is what he should look like. I can't move past it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't move past the imagery. Um, when you get to the story, it's people are very uncomfortable with how it ends, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's down for interpretation. Uh, it's it's hard for people because of what Joker does in this story, like how brutal he
Yeah.
is. Like what he does to Barbara Gordon's awful and it's terrible,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the Joker does though. And it doesn't so much carry in this book, but it affects Batman and other things, right? When they decided to make that canon, it was like, man, that just it it drives Batman.
Yeah.
And like he's already driven, and it's now I'm double driven because of
Mm-hmm.
this, right? And it's because the trauma the Joker causes Batman and other people and Gordon, and um that's why it has to be on this list because it's important to the mythos.
Yeah.
It just is. It's one of the, if you're going to list the top 5 things that Joker did that are terrible,
Yeah.
this is there. This is in it.
Well,
And
just like I don't know, maybe even number one. Not that there needs to be a contest of ranking. Well, actually, and like go back and forth on terrible things and ranking it or anything, but it's like
yeah,
this obviously comes to mind because I mean, it's a character he does it to a character that we all know,
yeah,
and are very familiar with, and it's, innocent in the affair and he just yeah, it just feels very brutal. Um and
it
it's
is
so
ruthless.
impactful. And then I mean, there's like and then to try and it's part of his plan for Jim Gordon,
Yeah,
and that's effective. And then it's like it's hard to say that there's like an uplifting ending considering what
yeah,
we've seen, but like he's taken Gordon through the depths of like you should be mad by now,
yeah,
like crazy,
yeah,
and it didn't work.
yeah. And
So
that
it's
part's crazy, man. That part's
yeah.
crazy because he's singing to him,
Hmm.
and he's showing him the photos, and it's like you're so twisted, and he's like, you get ooh, ooh, and you get mad. There's this whole
Yeah. I don't
song.
like
I have a
Hamill's singing version of it in the movie. I don't
oh,
like
it's
his singing
yeah,
of it. I think it's bad.
it's really bad. The animated take on this is terrible. I hate it. It's just don't
Did
watch
you
it.
say
It's
that
not
when we
good.
recorded before?
Yeah, I think I said that.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
like it.
Then
It was
I was
awful.
wrong because I think I said last episode with Pete that me and him we did like it
Yeah.
minus the one part that is obvious. And I
No.
said I thought that you didn't mind it either, so I was wrong.
I don't if I liked it then. That's weird. I
I
don't
don't know. Maybe
enjoy
I'm
it at
I'm making
all.
shit up now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was one of those things like, man, if you were going to adapt this, y'all did a really terrible job at doing it. But it's this is my original copy. I have like 4 versions of this, but this is like my
Yeah.
original copy of it
Hmm.
that I bought $3.50.
Whoa,
Um,
big spender.
yeah, yeah. This is the first printing, and so I have a
Oh, you do
first
have the
printing of
first
it.
printing. All
I have
right.
I have a first printing. I know Pete was collecting these for a little bit,
He
different
said
because
he's
they're
got them
different.
all.
Yeah, different printings have have whatchamacallit, like different colors on
Yeah,
the
the type
embossed part.
the colors were different, and that's how you knew
So
which version you had.
yeah. So for
Nice.
our first printing of this, I should probably keep better care of it because it's probably worth something. I don't know. but
Yeah.
but I have the absolute edition, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and
buddy.
which is cool because it has like the different coloring on it, and
Which, because I'm
which
not
I don't
gonna act like
prefer.
I know. Which, yeah, because the deluxe edition, which was like a 20th anniversary edition, came
I
out
have
with the
that
new
too.
coloring.
Yeah.
And yeah, I bought that.
Yeah.
And then the Absolute included both versions, but then the quality of paper was different for each version too, as well as
Yeah.
Alan Moore's script. I did not ever read Alan Moore's script of the book because it was too much.
Hmm.
And it didn't have annotations or anything either, it just had his script. But just refresh here, which version do you prefer? The original coloring or
Yeah. Original coloring just
yeah, me too.
kills. Like I get what Bolin was saying, like he was
Yeah,
really upset or
I do
whatever.
too.
Like, but
What
I
really
just
helps
think the
it and
80s
mhm.
coloring, the pinks and stuff, man,
Yeah, yeah.
just looks so good, dude. It's
And
so
the paper
so good.
quality in the Absolute for that version too. I love that more. Like I could smell
Yeah.
that. You and I have said forever, come
Hmm.
on, Yankee Candle. We need that. We need
That
the
smell.
floppy stuff. Well, then we also need the 80s comic book candle smell too.
Yeah.
Mm,
I don't
yeah,
like the
buddy.
deluxe edition doesn't have the original.
Nope. It was recolored only, and that was their big
Yeah,
push of like, buy this
and they gave
version.
and they gave Batman the old school bat.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
there's no
that's okay.
oval.
Yeah.
And
So the
it was just
Absolute
very
has everything.
clean. The
Yeah.
story is a messed up, dirty story, and I think the recoloring of it makes it very clean and shiny. And I'm like, I
Mm.
don't think this story needs clean and shiny. Like art on its
No.
own, it's ballin'. It looks great, of course. Uh,
Like
but for the
just
story, the coloring is just the original version, which isn't
yeah.
what Ballin I don't think wanted. That is it is just better though.
Yeah.
It's better. But everybody can
No.
argue with that, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and it might be just oh, I saw it first, but like dude, the coloring just there's something about it, the mood. But yeah, I don't trauma
Yep.
visually, just a great book. You know, I don't care what Alan Moore says. He wrote a story and he's just, he wants to trash on it. Okay,
I don't
whatever.
really care
Well,
what he says about anything, but
yeah, he's not coming on the Batman book club
he's
anytime soon.
not. I don't think he is. Episode
He's your Moby
300, you
Dick,
heard it here
bro.
first.
He's your Moby Dick. He'll come on. He's like, all right, friend.
um,
I'm
I'm
always
good.
here.
I don't think I'd have much to say to him because then he'd just tell me why I'm wrong, I think. uh,
Rubbish.
so that was, of out of order still. Killing Joke,
Mm,
that was one of mine also. So
hmm.
I've got one left and you've got one left before
Yes.
we say what our actual rankings are. So, I don't know who should say this last one, you or me,
Let's rock.
because I have no
Can we
idea,
rock?
no idea if it's
I have
going to be
no
the
idea.
same or not.
Rock, paper, scissor. We'll
Okay,
do that.
we do.
Ready?
So it's like
So,
rock, paper. When you say scissors, you show, right? That's
yeah,
how I
you
do
just
it.
show.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
you're good, dude.
Okay. So we're no, so we're just gonna say it.
Oh, we're
We're
gonna
not
say
gonna.
it.
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
no,
I was
I'm
like,
like
that's
we're gonna
how.
visual and then we'll say.
Yeah. So on the count of three, sorry, it should just be 1, 2, 3, and we'll say it. All right.
Okay, all right.
All right. 1,
One,
2,
two,
3.
three. The
Death in
laughing
the family.
fish. Ah! Okay, there we
Ah.
go. Perfect. All right, you
There
can
you
go
go.
first.
All right. Yeah. Death in the Family. Man, that story really made me sad when I read it. I read it as a kid. I didn't read it as the issues came out. I wasn't collecting the issues at that point. I bought this one right here. This was my first copy
Mm-hmm.
of it. I don't know where I bought it at. I may have bought it at like Barnes and Noble or some crap like that. But yeah, it. I remember it breaking my heart, being sad, like really being sad. I was like, I think I was 11. I read a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff at 11. I was just trade paperbacks, Batman, trying to catch up on the history of Batman. The first like modern day Batman comic I read was probably, oh gosh, I don't remember. It had to be like I remember Batman's walking against a purple like background on the cover,
Mm-hmm.
and it's around 89. It's a few maybe 4 or 5 issues after Jason Todd dies, and I remember like Robin dies. Why is Robin dead? What's going on? Like why
Yeah.
do they keep referencing? And so, anyways, I did some detective work. It's possible to do. People who read comics, and I found out what the issues, and I got the trade. Um, and I just was sad, man. And like to see the Joker like destroy Robin was like it was such a, not to make it like, bigger than it is, but to me it sent the message of like, I'm destroying an icon, and I'm destroying the innocence of Batman. Robin was his little partner, his little buddy, his little pal, his son, his family, and I'm destroying it just because I think it's funny. And again, great Joker stories add to the trauma of Batman, and that's what it did. For the longest time, they, when you're another writer who comes onto a project, like you're like, oh, okay, well, what do I do with Batman? He's just so mad, he's so angry that he gets more and more violent, and that's what happened with A Lonely Place of Dying, right? Like
Hmm.
they noticed Batman's he's reckless and he's angry and he's just punching faces all over the place. Like brutality has been unleashed, because he's so sad and he's so lost, and he's trying to fill that void and make sure it doesn't happen again. And I think that's because the Joker killed his son, essentially.
Hmm.
Like Batman takes these guys on because he wants, even though he doesn't want family, he wants family. He needs he replaces
It's
what
all
was
about
taken away.
family,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
he replaces what was taken away from him, and he tries to provide uh you know a healthy way for them to deal with their trauma, and he doesn't do a good job. So it just repeats that cycle. But yeah, I it's probably the greatest Joker story. Not that like Killing Joke isn't as serious, but there's something about the killing of Robin, because you think Batman and Robin, the
Uh,
killing of Robin, right?
Barbara survives. It's terrible. Barbara survives in the Killing Joke. Robin does.
Hmm.
Robin's murdered. I
Yeah,
mean, murdered, killed, whatever, in
yeah,
Death in the Family. So I mean,
yeah,
it's still, it is different.
yeah. That scene that just like, oh my gosh, like him coming
Yeah,
out of, and the worst part is like Jason's just trying so hard to protect his mom,
yeah.
and it's actually like a really good story. When people say it's not good, I'm like, man, go back to just reread it again with, and make sure you have your heart, because it's just really sad,
Taking a pulse. Yep, it's
and
beaten. All right, I think I'm
yeah,
good.
and I've gone back and I've read these early stories now where Jason, he is a little turd.
Yeah,
He's more turdy than Damien, and when he
bite your
was written the
tongue.
right way. But when you see a character, you see his potential. Like he is good. He's just rough, and he dies, and you're like, oh man, like
Yeah.
I remember it hurt, and every whack of the crowbar, Joker just losing it, dude, and it became, that was fun for him. Anyway, so yeah, this for me, I'm like, oh man, it just hit so hard, and now looking back, you're like, oh, the impact's lost because Jason's back. The impact's lost because Barbara's back. The trauma they still experience, and they go through that with the Three Joker book, and that's why I like it. It
Yeah.
revisits the trauma, but I, I just don't know how I feel when I like Red Hood. You know, I think
I,
he's
I
actually
think they
pretty
just kind of
interesting.
get him. All right, so I like Death in the Family. Um, I think I felt a little because when does he like I don't know. I felt then they add what the with the Joker at the United Nations and all that stuff. It's like that
Yeah.
was very all that's happening, and I'm still just thinking about Jason dying. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's what for me doesn't put that story up as much. I think it's known as like, well, that's the one where Robin dies. And bringing him back, okay, it's comics. Under the Red Hood story, I think the animated version's even better. Judd Winnick did a really good job of like
Mm-hmm. Oh
revising
yeah.
his own story. But
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, so now what do we do with Red Hood?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's just where they get stuck. And so they bring him into Killing Joke or Three Jokers, and he's great. Like it works, totally works in that story. And then outside of that, I'm like, I don't know what they do with him. Um, but I mean, sadly for me, I already knew that. Oh, this is when I first read that story. It was like, oh yeah, this is the one where he dies.
Yeah.
Whereas I couldn't imagine at the time following comics and then not knowing, and so you are picking
Mm.
up the issue to feel like what it's called Death in the Family. Like he's gonna die
Yeah.
then, right? But then what if he doesn't? I
Well, if
probably
you
would have
called that
asked.
number,
I
if
was
you
gonna
call
say
that
I probably
number.
would have asked. Don't you think that the comic readers are just evil? Like, there's probably no chance that. Well, I forget. I don't
It
know.
was
There's
slim. It was slim. It
numbers
was a slim.
fudged, but I feel like people are evil, so they're like, kill him. Let's just see where that goes, you know. And
Yeah.
I do think he serves better having been dead to Batman than coming back alive.
I think so too. I think,
But whatever.
like real life, and it's not real life, but like when there's a loss, when there's tragedy, it changes you. Either it causes you to, uh, you know, be inspired by that, or it causes you to, double down in your
Yeah,
unhealth. And that's what happened. Like that's why Lonely Place of Dying was so powerful, because they noticed, like,
this
someone
doesn't
who
happen.
yeah.
Like, man, this doesn't happen. Well, now it does. No such thing
So
as death in
the
comics.
the final tally was 5,271 votes for him to live, 5,343 to die. So it was
72.
no, it was yeah, 72. It was 72
72
votes.
votes
Yeah.
across the country. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
slim.
yeah, and so very interesting. Yeah, I have the like, what if he lived comic, and it's literally the same issue. It's just the dialogue that's changed. There's a
Yeah.
couple art changes, but I'm like, oh, it was just dialogue. It wasn't that big of a production issue.
Did
It was
you
like,
did you read
he's
the
alive.
DMT story earlier this year of Robin Lives?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Okay.
Nah.
I did. But I mean, I
I
read it monthly and haven't revisited it since, and I want to again. And I will
maybe
at
I
some
should.
point. I
Maybe
like
I
that
should.
one.
Maybe I should take.
Maybe you didn't like it, Justin. Trust your gut. You didn't like it. No,
Yeah.
I'm good. So I said The Laughing Fish, and that's Detective Comics 475, part of one of my favorite stories ever, The Strange Apparitions, which I talked with
I
Steve
love strange
Englehart
apparitions. Yes.
earlier this year on this show. Boom.
He's no Alan Moore.
No, he's not.
He's better.
Yeah, exactly. He's better. But yeah, I Detective 475, you've got to get Sign of the Joker, Detective 476 in there too. Like, that's just called The Laughing Fish. I don't know why there's a different issue name. Times were different. We're talking 50 years ago now.
Times are different.
But like, to me, it's those two issues are one story, and in that story is Laughing Fish. And I think that the story is awesome. I think it's great. I think it's totally absurd, like Joker. But he's more deadly and unpredictable.
Mhm.
The trying to catch him thing is and how he's getting past them. The I mean, I referenced the Laughing Fish episode of Batman the Animated Series earlier
Yeah.
that blends parts of Joker's Five-Way Revenge with it, and I just think it's a brilliant issue, two issues, I guess, and I think a great story. It's oddly fun, but like dark because it is all like at night and it's storming. The art by Marshall
Yeah.
Rogers is great. Yeah, and what can I say that I haven't said before? Oh, I know. You can go back and listen to episode 54, Strange Apparitions of the Batman Book
Oh.
Club, released in May 2021.
Hey, you're on it today with the callbacks, bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, all I had to do is just look at 2021, apparently.
Oh my
May,
God.
November,
Sometimes I'm
May,
like, what
January.
day was this? Where was I?
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's all I have to say about it. It's just that I think it's great. It's referential to the very first Joker story, obviously,
Yeah.
announcing his crimes and giving that's such a fun trope for a Joker story. Him announcing beforehand,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. And then it's like, no, he can't. We've got tons of police in here. We've been here since blah, 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 whatever. And the Joker still has found a way to infiltrate and accomplish his
Yeah.
task. It's
Yeah.
because you just don't know how. There's no way. How are they going to get out of this one? And then, they don't. Okay. Well,
Yep.
you got it. And so it does fall into the line of like The Man Who Laughs and like it's a comic book story.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a ton to say on or add to the Batman Joker dynamic, but it makes up for it in like it's Joker through and through.
Well, it highlights the unpredictability, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there you go.
it's a good character, like defining like story of like this guy, how does he freaking do this, right? He
Yeah.
outsmarts everybody because they underestimate him because he's a freaking clown, right?
Mm-hmm.
The visage is what throws you off. That's why a story like that it's one of the most iconic ideas of the Joker, right?
Yeah.
The laughing fish, the fish, like
Mm-hmm.
it tends to be something people go for when they, create
And
some
even
type of
even the cat, like the
yeah.
smiling cat in that too, ends up becoming a Ballin cover for Legends of the Dark Knight number 50, where Joker's holding
Yeah.
that cat. It's
Yes.
like the
That's
freaking
another great
cat
cover.
from the issue like
Yeah.
becomes a great highlight. So yeah,
Yeah.
excellent story. Love that
Yeah.
story. So now
Love
we
that Joker.
love that Joker. Oh man, sitting right here, Justin. I think I'm gonna have to watch 89
Oh, nice.
It's tonight. Let's see. Let's rank them. Now it's time to rank them. I'm gonna rank them, Justin. Even though you might
Oh, yeah.
have,
Mine
but
was
we're gonna go
ranked.
ahead.
Yes.
I want you to go
I
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire it off.
5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. So, number 5,
Number 5.
the winning card. Batman, the
The
winning
winning
card.
Excellent.
Okay. Number 4 was The War of Jokes of Riddles.
Okay.
Number 3, Arkham Asylum, a serious house on a serious earth. Number 2, Batman, the Killing Joke.
Mhm.
And then number 1 was Batman, a Death in the Family.
All right. There you go. Highly contested, right? People are gonna call in and be like, "No, this is hogwash."
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
Wash
All
them
right. Well,
hogs.
here's we're not done washing hogs because here's my list. All right. Number 5, The Man Who Laughs.
Hey.
Number 4, Death of the Family. Number 3, The Killing Joke.
Mm.
Number 2, Joker's Five-Way Revenge. And number 1, The Laughing Fish.
Oh, man.
Here's the thing. 3, 2, 1. That order can be shaken up
Yes.
pretty often.
I agree.
We could record this next year and something like that could happen. So Laughing Fish, I'm embarrassed. 3 Jokers was in my top 5. And then for whatever reason, it just hit me on the Laughing Fish. I'm like, how did I not remember the Laughing Fish? I was embarrassed. I think I took my own fan card away for a moment. I'm like, because it wasn't on the list. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, what? Holy crap. And I'm like, well, that's top 5. What's got to go? And then it got really tough. Because then it was Man Who Laughs or 3 Jokers. Man Who Laughs or 3 Jokers. Oh, crap. I don't know. And then I made an executive decision. So I had asked, or I started to say at the top of the show. So here's my final questions, Justin.
Yes, you've got a question?
We start to wrap this up. I want to ask you your favorite Joker in 3 different medias,
Oh.
also known as mediums. So you already started to show your hand earlier. So let's go ahead and just go to that one. Who is your favorite Joker in live action?
Jack Nicholson.
All right. I think everybody knows that. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I think that he was such a good version of what makes the Joker great, right? He was scary, but you laughed at him. Like you literally enjoyed every time he talked, you laughed. It was like a quote. It was like it wasn't like a quote in the bad way of like Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners, like they're corny, like saying like everything he said was just like absurd. Like I am of a mind to make some mookie, like just things like that. Like you'll never believe what happened to me today. Like the way he just delivered it was so good, and it was you just laugh, you fun. He's so quotable. Like when we were doing chapter by chapter, like it was like we would go 20 minutes on every Joker line because they're just so many. Good. And so I think that he did it. You had fun with his crazy ideas and antics. Like even though you're like, this guy's like he's like poisoning these girls on TV. But it's funny. He's like that look, the whole hair color so natural. Even your Undertaker knows for sure. Like you're just laughing. You're like, this is crazy, dude. He's so crazy. And the parade, everything about it was like perfect Joker. Like everybody else, and I'll even include like Leto.
Lawrence.
They have
Lawrence. You're talking Jokers.
I'm saying like all the Joker. Everyone has something. everyone has something that they brought that was like interesting, right? Like
Hmm.
you can't knock Ledger. I don't really knock Leto that
I
much.
can knock Leto.
And that's
You
fine.
know.
Like I get it. I get it. Um, even Joaquin Phoenix's take, like there's some stuff. Barry Keoghan for me is I haven't seen anything yet except a scabby face that I don't care for. So when it's
Yeah.
this time to be the Joker, let's see. Um, but Jack is the number one guy. He's number one
Number
guy.
one, a guy.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah.
No shocker to anybody that follows you or has listened to you on this show or anything. No shocker for me that my favorite live action is Ledger. I have
Mm,
nothing negative to say about Jack Nicholson. I just said The Laughing Fish is my favorite Joker story. Hey, Jack Nicholson's Joker is lifted from Marshall Rogers pages. Like it's
yeah.
kind of that's his, that's the inspiration for that version of the Joker. But Ledger's just, knocked me on my ass and I still watch that movie. And just like with Jack, you can quote so many things. With Ledger, you can quote
Mm,
so many lines of his too. Uh, and he hasn't been topped for me pre or post
hmm
his take, and I just I love it, and I think there's so many things he did um, that helped strengthen that version of the Joker as well, and then you get to the version of that Joker that appears in the movie that's written on the page that he had to bring to life that leans into a lot of things of the Joker character and then Joker versus Batman and stuff and some referencing like I just said of announcing his crimes before he commits them. He does that. The multiple choice angle in The Dark Knight, like that's
mm,
also in Killing Joke, and
yeah.
I just love all of that. And so no, he wears purple, white skin, green hair.
Yeah.
That's Joker to me.
That's the
Um,
Joker.
that's what he does. He's just got a little, he's got some longer hair to it, and it's
Mm,
makeup. It's not,
yeah.
skin's been, but I don't care. I
Perma
think both.
white.
It's good luck to whoever takes on Joker for the rest of time because it's
Yeah.
always I think going to be measured up between Ledger and Nicholson. You know,
Yeah. And
um,
that's the thing I think you
ugh,
have that somebody has the opportunity to be the most iconic
yeah.
and
And I thought
all you
Phoenix
need.
did a really good job in
Mhm.
the first movie.
Yeah.
As being a Joker. I thought that was a really good movie, and I thought he was really good. But to me, it's like
Yeah.
not. But Ledger and Ledger and Joker,
Yeah.
or Ledger
If
and Nicholson.
if somebody comes out and looks like Brian Boland Joker,
Ooh, that's your number
you're
one guy.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be it.
hard to
Yeah.
like not give him the flowers. So
All right. I think Keoghan's has the opportunity to be very different. I think that's going to be the first one of like you're going to be uncomfortable looking at him. Like
yeah.
Bermeo's Joker, I think in the story, I think some people that can say like they don't like it is because it's very dirty and it makes them feel icky. And it's like I can see if that's going to be an inspiration for a Joker of like, what if it's like one that makes you really disturbed seeing on screen? I don't think we've had that version of a Joker. I don't know if that's one that I'll want, period.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
welcome the opportunity to see something different as long as hopefully the Joker character himself is very like, there are some parts that you can't change that. That is just how the Joker is.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel unfortunately I feel like that's what they're gonna do. And I just
Yeah.
don't have a care. I
You
don't
don't care
want to
about
see a
that.
I don't want to see a scabby Joker. Like
Yeah.
it's like I said, I feel like we're degrading cinematically. Like it's just, Heath Ledger was kind of the greasy cut face. We had the stuff on that terrible Gotham show. Like that's
Oof.
kind of
Pete's favorite.
yeah, it kind of looks like the Keoghan stuff. The hair's all
Gotcha. Hmm.
sparse and like I for
Yeah.
me, I
Eh.
don't. It's
Eh. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, let's see. Let's see.
I'll have an open mind, so I
Yeah,
can see it and judge it for myself.
I I agree.
Favorite Joker in animation?
Oh man, that's yeah. I mean everyone's gonna say Mark Hamill. I think he did a great job. The he created kind of the voice where everyone just kind of mimics him now. Like the whole
Yeah,
all that type of stuff, right? He kind of takes the 66 like,
I
you
think
know,
that's the
delivery
easiest.
and
It's the easiest question of these three. Like for me,
yeah,
there's
but
there's not much hesitation with Ledger, but I can sit there and go on and on positive of like, oh, I can see why people would say Nicholson, how he's right up there with him, and blah blah blah. And it's
yeah,
like animation, Hamill. All right, who's
yeah.
next? Hamill.
but I actually, but I as much as like he's the guy. I really liked Zach Galifianakis when he was the Joker in the
Oh yeah.
animated
Oh,
Lego
he
movie.
was.
I think
That's
he did a
true.
good job. Like it was just fun and it wasn't. It actually wasn't over the top. It was very subdued. And so
And John DiMaggio, who you've met in person,
I
outrageous.
have
He did a great job
outrageous. He did
in
a great job
Batman
in Red
in
Hood.
Under the Red Hood. Yeah, he did a good
Yeah,
job
yeah,
in that one. But I just think, yeah, for me also, Hamill takes the cake.
yeah.
This might be the hardest one, but maybe you kind of
Oh,
answered it already. Your
maybe.
favorite Joker in comics. This is the last question.
Oh yeah, Brian Bolland. Like the art. I mean, when you say that, you mean like the art, or are you talking about like
However
joke
you,
to take?
I mean, however you want to answer
Uh,
it.
oh gosh, then that's actually kind of challenging, dude. Because I overall, and I already talked about this. I love Tom King's
Hmm.
take on the Joker,
Hmm.
and we've seen the beginnings and early stories, to the very end.
Yeah.
And I really like Tom King's take. And it doesn't hurt that most of the artists he has used are in the visual uh, idea of what I like. And so I know that might sound wishy washy. I love Brian Boland's take on the Joker. I love the stories Tom King has told.
All right. Fair.
Do with that what you may.
I think mine might be boring, but I'm just gonna go, kind of like in a story and aesthetically, and I think Fabok he might have my favorite
Oh,
Joker.
yeah. I
And I
mean,
mean, three Jokers, just look at it. He gives you three different kinds that are all also
he's
like
the
the same, but they're
yeah.
just like visually, aesthetically, and stuff. But he still does some pretty evil things. Um,
He's the spiritual successor to Brian Boland,
yeah,
bro. He just
definitely.
is.
Yep.
Like it's not.
And I think that's great. I do love Bermeo's. In no like when Bermeo's been doing covers and stuff with Joker, it's like, man, I love that. Give me that every day.
Yeah.
Uh, Garrett and I just talked about, Batman the World, and there's a Joker and Harley spread, and that Joker looks fantastic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, like just right here, right now in the moment, Favix is just singing to me. So that's just where I go in the comics.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, yeah, his.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. That's really
I,
good. Give
I
me
I
more.
love a joke. I love a Joker in a trench coat, man. Let me tell you,
Yeah, yeah,
like the trench coat and like the wide brimmed hat,
yeah,
like so. I mean, that's a five-way revenge, right? Like
yeah.
that. That is incredible, and I still remember the issue before the laughing fish in
Hmm.
Strange Apparitions, where like you see the silhouette, and it's
Oh
like
yeah, it's like
the
ha ha
next
ha
issue.
ha. Yep.
Yeah, like that still sticks out to me because I
Hmm.
remember reading it. I read it in Greatest Batman Stories Ever Told. That was the first time,
Hmm.
and then they don't follow up. Interesting, they don't have the laughing fish in that collection. It's just like, oh,
It's
find
weird.
out, yeah, like, oh, whatever happens with that. And so I read it
Well,
way later.
I'm also now because you mentioned that I remember in reading Strange Apparitions and uh when Hugo Strange was gonna, auction off the identity and you get to see Joker's feet,
Yeah,
like he's dimly lit, but he's sitting there in the theater. Yeah, you see it's yeah. I mean it just makes me think also I love that they teased him twice
yeah,
and like teased him twice as a nice build up to Laughing Fish. But anyways,
yeah.
there we go.
There we
This
go.
was a joy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised because it took longer than I thought it would, but also I know that we could keep going.
Yeah, we probably totally could.
We probably could. And then we totally
Favorite
redo our
action
list.
figure of the Joker.
Yeah.
Favorite Joker act.
That one would be tough too. I don't know.
Favorite Joker underwear.
Yes. Favorite Joker tattoo. Favorite Joker Halloween costume.
Favorite.
Jo
Yeah.
favorite Ledger Joker Halloween get up. I went as Nurse Joker that year.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's
Yeah, I
neat.
did. Yeah, there's a picture. There's
Oh yeah.
pictures I have of it, but I applied the makeup where it didn't stay on great very long. And that's the only criticism I have is that it's like I did all the makeup and then I put the scars on, and I'm like, no, I think you're supposed to do
Oh,
scars so it
yeah.
sticks
Scars
and then
first.
makeup over it, and I totally effed
Yeah.
that up, and it made me mad. But
Oh
I
yeah.
even
Yeah.
I even bought online. People had made Harvey Dent like from
Yeah.
the movie stickers for like for Harvey
Yeah.
Dent, but then they're Jokerized. So I
Yeah.
had that on my nurse costume too.
Oh, nice.
I was pretty happy.
I love
with
that
it.
you just had a nurse costume. That's incredibly
I bought it.
interesting.
No, I
Okay.
bought. I didn't
was
have. I don't
was
have
like,
it just in the
wow.
closet.
He's like, hey there,
Okay.
hey sailor. All right.
All right. Well, we've got more questions now. The
Yeah,
after hours
so,
episode of the Batman Book
yes.
Club. Nurse
After dark.
Lauer.
Yeah, nurse Lauer.
Mr. J, I appreciate you sitting down, taking the time, talking some
Yes.
Joker with me. It was a good
Of
time,
course.
as
Yes.
expected. Do you want to plug anything, everything where people can hear your thoughts and argue about your list?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't have any like real platform right now. So
Yeah.
I am on X. Find me on
There you
X.
go.
Justin M. Kowalski on X. And
Easy enough.
next time, I don't know. Next time I be on a show, might be your
Mhm.
show. I don't know. I don't know where I'll be.
You'll
know
follow
where I
him
am.
and he'll let you
Just-
know.
Invite. I'll go on your show. Let's talk. Anyone who has a show, I'll talk. I got a mic. I got
Yeah.
a mic and some time.
You heard him
So
earlier. He likes the escapism of podcasting about nerdy things. So
It's
He's
fun.
ready.
It's fun talking about. I just don't want to have to be in charge of it.
yeah, there you go. It makes it
There you go.
easier when you're just a
Yeah.
guest. And something like
just a
this
guest.
too, where it's like there's actually not a ton of homework. You just got to think, what are some Joker stories you like? But then it becomes harder than you.
This was actually a lot of homework, Lauer.
yeah, that's true.
I was stressing about this on Monday, and then I was like, I gotta let him know what my list is. And then
I know you told me, and then you were like, I don't know, I'll get you the rest later on, and then I didn't hear from you, and then and I was like, that's fine, I don't need to know.
I was
until
just
we sit down.
sweating at nighttime.
You
I
did
was
tell me Death
writing-
of the Family, but I was blinking.
I was writing by the candlelight, not to wake my family. I was like, what are the Joker stories? Just
I think, and I always do this. I know the difference, and I always say, I just said you told me Death of the Family. No, Death in the Family.
yeah.
I
But
do that
told
all
you,
the
I'm
time.
gonna change it.
I always
told
say
you.
of and in. I always mix them up. My mouth does not wait on my brain.
In is the first one. Of is the collection.
Robin dies in one of them. Robin does not die in another one.
There you go.
All right, so-
he should have.
Follow him on the X. Follow the
Yes.
Batman Book Club on the X and other social platforms at the Batman BC. Also subscribe to the Batman YouTube channel. If you want to support the show, variety of ways you can do that. Patreon.com/the Batman BC. Go to TeePublic, type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club, and you can see some things that Justin created that logo, and it appears on some things. Forever
Yay.
grateful. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-OK. Easiest, quickest, most impactful thing you can do to help this show, rate and review it. So however you listen to it, Apple, Spotify, the others, because let's be serious, it's usually just Apple and Spotify. Go to the rate and review page, rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as we all know, that word is panic.
Panic.
So for Mr. J. Kowalski, I am Ryan Lauer. Until next time, be my panic.